to you. It's Wednesday. Every single time it's Wednesday. It's all I can think of as a caption. It's Wednesday. What do we do? 2 more days to the weekend. What's going on the weekend? Nothing. Nothing's going on. So yesterday, this morning that my son has his therapy session video. Good morning, Rose. This morning my son has his video therapy session. And last night at 2 o'clock in the morning, he decided he wanted to talk. Good morning, Sulie. He decided he wanted to have a conversation at 2 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, Mom. He says, Mom, good morning, T and Stace. Mom, when I have my therapy session tomorrow, can you leave the house? Can you find somewhere else to go? Like, excuse me, what? No, why would I leave the house? He wants to have a private conversation. Well, then speak quietly in your room. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Pam. Can I leave the house? Well, can you put your headphones on? There's just some things I don't feel comfortable talking to you about, Mom. Dude, you're going to have your therapy in your room. I'm not leaving the house. If you want to leave, you can leave. But then you can just be telling your business to everybody in the streets because you're loud. He's in his room with my AirPods on and having his session. Can I leave the house? Then I get up this morning and I'm minding my business and I'm getting him ready for his therapy session. And I wake him up 15 minutes before the therapy session, and this boy had the nerve to tell me, do you think it would be better, Mom, if you would have woken me up earlier? Excuse me, Negro. You can set your own alarm clock. These kids. Don't you think it would have been better if you gave me more time to get prepared? I think it would have been better if you woke yourself up. That's what I think. Set your own alarm clock. Get your own 12-year-old self up out the bed. Jesus. And while he's getting ready, I keep hearing a knock on the door. I'm like, I'm not expecting company. It's coronavirus time. Who's knocking on my... I don't even know that many people out here, right? There's nobody should be knocking on my door. I know, Rose, you say your child doesn't go to bed and he's always late. Dragon, I know it's the same thing, but then don't come to me talking about, don't you think you should have gotten me up earlier? No, I think you should have gotten yourself up. That's what I think. So it's some random women knocking on my door. And I go after they're knocking there for 10 minutes because I'm not expecting company, so I don't know, answer the door. I don't know anybody out here that's going to be knocking on my door like that. So finally, I'm like, wow, they are relentless. Let me go to the door. Good morning, Shay. So I go to the door, and there's 2 women outside. Like, I have no idea what they want. What are they trying to sell? So I open the door, and my neighbor, I did open the door. My neighbor had a heat stroke. My neighbor was taken to the hospital. My landlord was taken to the hospital. And I'm standing there looking at them like, okay. She said, we put the dogs downstairs, but we don't have a key to lock up. But we don't have a key. Did you need me?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you can hear me.
No?
You can't hear me at all.
I can hear mumbling, but I can't make out what you're saying. I'm doing my tea time, babe.
Really? This whole time when I was...
I don't know what you said. I couldn't hear a word. I mean, I could hear there was some noise. I'm not telling you a lie.
Really? This whole time when I was saying...
I'm doing tea time, babe. I'm not paying any attention to you. I'm doing tea time.
Say hi.
No, yeah, come on. Come say hi.
Hey.
All right, now go back. It comes out, can you hear me? Can you hear me? You know, no, man, I can't hear. I ain't paying a lick of attention. Talk to your therapist, dude. Talk to your therapist. Leave me alone. So anyway, so my landlord was out walking her dog, and she had a heat stroke. I want to say the ambulance, but I know how to say it. I'm just tripping. So the paramedics showed up, And they didn't like what they heard when they were listening to her heart, doing the heart monitor and everything. They didn't like what they heard, so they took her to the hospital. We don't know when she's going to come back. So now there's these two random women standing outside on my doorstep talking about your tenant. They don't know I'm the tenant, but that's okay. Your tenant we had to go to the hospital, and we put the dogs downstairs, but we don't have a key to lock up. And they're looking at me like, what you going to do? And I was like, okay, so, all right, fine, I'll figure it out. And they said, well, we don't know when she's going to be back, and the dogs are downstairs. I got it. I'll figure it out. Go. I got it. Thank you for letting me know. I got it. So now, the other day I ordered, so I was thinking about, I don't want to go into this lady's house. Look, she hasn't been social distancing to my standards. I have social distance be ridiculously so. Okay, people, we're suffering because I don't go out of the house. Now I gotta go down into your space. You got these dogs, you got this cat, you got all this stuff. I don't want to be in your space, but you're in the hospital, so I have to care because I'm a caring neighbor. So I ordered 2 days ago a P100 respirator mask. And I just got notified that my P100 respirator mask will be here today. Yes. Fine. I'll put on my self-made hazmat suit, and I will go down there and tend to your dogs. I like animals. I will go down there and tend to your dogs. I'll know when they need to be tended to because they'll start barking. I hear them all the time. They'll start making all kinds of noise. So that's where I am right now, guys. It's Wednesday. And my son is kicking me out of the house to go to his therapy session. And my neighbor is at the hospital. Now I have to go down into her space and tend to her animals. I do have a key to her house because I have a key for emergency purposes, and therefore I can go lock up her house. So no problem. And I come to the table and I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for tea time to start. I'm just waiting. And I realized 2 minutes before tea time is supposed to start, I ain't got no damn tea. I didn't have a cup. I didn't have my tea, nothing. I had nothing. Y'all, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and Trump has already talked about pulling out of the World Health Organization. Kanye's running for president. We got murder hornets. We got a sandstorm that came out of somewhere. We got knees and necks. Breonna Taylor's killers have still not been arrested, haven't been tried, aren't going to be tried. We got children missing. I don't know why I said 10. But it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Oh, because it's 10 o'clock. It's Wednesday. It's 10 o'clock on a Wednesday. And my son is up at 2 o'clock in the morning, stressing because one of his friends might not be his friend anymore. His best friend might not be his friend anymore. And he says to me, Mom, what should I do? And I said, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So this is let it go. That's what I say. Let it go. Let it go. Move on. Give him space. Maybe he'll come back to being the friend that you want him to be. But you're a different kind of friend. All of us have those friends that are really dedicated to us. And do we treat them well? Do we treat them right? Do we give these friends the attention that they need? Or do we get irritated with the attention that they need and move on? All of us need some attention at some point, right? I can only imagine if my friends skipped out on me when I really needed it the most. I can only imagine what that would feel like. Yeah. Trump's. So I don't know who this Facebook user is. You guys, you know what? I'm doing this restream thing, And for some reason, when the comments come in from YouTube, it mentions the person's name. So yesterday, here I am thinking that Darlene was my only Facebook user, and my cousin Eric was on, and Darlene was on, and there were a couple other people that were on Facebook. But because it only said Facebook user, and it doesn't say Facebook user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm thinking it's the same person commenting over and over again. So whoever just threw up a fist and said, did he beat him? I don't know who you are, but good morning and welcome. So if you say, did he beat him up? That's either got to be my cousin or that's got to be Anthony. One or the other. Let me see. Say who you are so I can know if I guessed right. I don't think that his friend is mad. I don't think his friend is mad. I think his friend is just his friend. That's just who he is. He's always been that kind of person. He's always been flighty. A good friend, but just, Etienne is the type that attaches to one person, maybe two, but most often one person. I knew it had to be you, Eric. Etienne is the type that attaches to one person. And this particular little boy's got like 50 million friends. He's got like 50 million friends, and so he doesn't attach to anybody. I mean, he has all of his friends, but he's not attached to them the way that Etienne attaches. I was talking to him yesterday, like, man, that can be a lot of pressure for somebody. And then I was thinking about myself, like when I've got my very close friends and I'm latching on to them and I'm calling them all the time. How much pressure are we putting on our friends to be our friends? That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. And then at 2 o'clock in the morning here, which is 11 o'clock in the morning there, he sends his friend a message to say, hey, do you still want to be my friend? Are you still interested in being my friend? And his friend says, yes, yes, yes. And I'm like, there we go, man. You're stressing over it. And he's just living his life. He's not wanting to be your friend. He's just living his life. Let's not take everything so personally. Why'd you say you're trying to pressure me? You're not trying to, I don't feel pressured. What you talking about, Rose? What you talking about? I think I know what you're talking about because we talk every day. No, that's not pressure. I don't feel pressure. I don't feel pressure, Rose. Girl, if I felt pressure, trust me, I wouldn't answer the phone. I'm known for not answering the phone. I'm known for turning my ringer off. If my ringer is on, I'm not feeling pressured. And you know what? My ringer has been on. I lived in California for 20 years with my ringer off. Off for damn near that whole 20 years. And I've been here for a year and my ringer has been on 90% of the time. Suli says, I don't think it's pressure. I think it's responsibility and a true friend. Suli, I agree. But when you're laying your burdens on someone else over and over and over and over again, and you're going to that person for your own happiness, that's pressure. A healthy relationship, that's a true friend. A healthy relationship, yes, but when you're latching on to someone so tightly that they can't breathe, that's pressure. So I talked to him about expanding his horizon. You have to reach out to other people, have other friends. Good morning, Tobiah. You can't just latch on to one friend, because that one friend isn't ready to just latch on to you. He has 20 other friends he's dealing with. And don't feel ignored. Etienne is the type of kid who, when there's a group of it's parenting him is pressure. It's pressure, man. A pressure I will take on over and over and over again. But it's trying to understand how his mind works and how he processes things when he was younger. If you didn't want to play the game that he wanted to play, that meant you didn't want to play with him. In his mind, they don't want to play with me. So he has now matured into this 12-year-old, still maturing, right? So it's not they don't want to play with me, but it's still he's ignoring me. Well, he's not ignoring you, babe. He's playing with everybody else too. So it's how he processes things. And it's so difficult. It's so difficult because at this time right now, we can't just go out and make new friends. We have to really hold on to the ones that we have. Everybody's social distancing, physically distancing. Everybody is, because socially we're pulling in, right? Socially we are connecting. But there's so much craziness that's going on in the world right now that when my 12-year-old comes to me and says, Mom, what do I do? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But how do you feel? Of course, with him, then he stays on negative for so long. At the end of it, I'm like, I can't do this with you anymore. You asked me what to do. I've come up with some suggestions for you. Try those. Try those suggestions. Don't just assume those suggestions won't work. Try them. Try them. Try them. Suli says that's a life lesson. Never expect. The universe gives it back to you in so many other ways. Be yourself. Be intensely good, friend. It always comes back to you. This is where the president is stuck, a 12-year-old. Yeah, right. Okay, so now we're going to move on. Right, maybe. Not with that friend, but many others. And that's, you know what, Suli? That's what I was talking to him about. I was talking to him about the value of a friend like him. That he is the type of friend who is very loyal and very, very dedicated to his friendships. And I would rather be his type of friend than to be the type of friend that's all over the place and doesn't understand the responsibility of being a friend. Good morning, Karen. You're here. Yay. We've been missing you at the table. We've been missing you. But you know what, Eric, and I'm assuming it's still Eric because you said presidents and that's your word. So you know what the thing is? It's so interesting because when I read that he is talking about pulling out of the World Health Organization in the middle of a pandemic, you want to pull out, right? And let's not talk about the horrible way you have handled this pandemic, the horrible way that you have approached this, and how this country is worse off than any other country. Our containment is worse off, that we are so stuck on our individual freedoms that we can't get our shit together to be concerned about the collective good. We can't get it together for that. And now you're talking about, I don't want to play with y'all anymore because you're not playing the way I want to play? Yeah, 12-year-old. 12-year-old. Pam says, I understand completely. I was an only child raised by many adults, so I was always very quiet. So when I got to high school and made friends, I made lasting contacts. Yeah, it takes me a long while to figure out that I don't have to be the one that always reaches out, that always makes sure they're okay. If they want to move on, that's good. It took me 57 years to figure that out. So at 12 years old, it's okay if he's hurt. Yeah, that's where he is, Pam. That's where he is. He's not an only child. Well, he's not an only child, but he is an only child. I mean, I used to call him when he was born, I used to say he's my first baby third, because he has siblings, older siblings, but he's 12 and his sister is 26. You might as well be an only child. That might as well be your aunt. That might as well be your aunt and your uncle, right? So, because his brother is older. So that might as well be the aunt and uncle. You might as well be an only child. So that's how he's living as an only child. And it's so hard. And I grew up with a huge family. There was always somebody for me to play with. Half the time I wasn't playing with the neighbors. I was playing with my siblings. But he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. He has mom to play with. And right now, he's going through his own little depression. So I'm very glad that we did not miss his therapy session, because we have been missing it sometimes. I'm very glad we put it. I freaked out yesterday. I thought I missed it yesterday, and then checked my schedule, and it was for today. I set an alarm clock. I reminded him, because he's very eager to go to therapy, which is so good, because he's, concerned about his own mental health. Right? He's just a kid. He's an only child, effectively an only child, and then he's an only child out here in Maryland, where he hasn't really made connections. Connecting to people is difficult for him. So it takes him a long time to make friends. Now, it takes him a long time to make friends, but once he makes them, he is dedicated to that friendship. So he hasn't made any really solid connections out here in Maryland yet. And then his California friends don't always have time for him, so he kind of feels alone. So I'm like, all right, man, let's go get your bike fixed. Let's go take a bike ride. I wonder if you guys can still see me. Can you still see me? Yeah. Apparently my computer didn't realize I'm still here. Don't be timing out on me. I'm still here. But I have my P100 mask. Well, it's coming today. I only ordered one because those suckers were $100. And I want to make sure it fits right and it's what I was looking for before I invest in another one. And if it's right, man, we about to be some Marvel looking characters everywhere we go because we're gonna have our mask on, our respirator on. Good morning, Stace. I'm not sure if I've gotten the source correct, but you might want to read the 4 agreements. It lets you know some things are not about you, but it says it much nicer. Okay. It's called, well, get the name. I don't know who this is. Is that still you, Eric? Give me a hard time. You're doing a great job with him, Kai. Thank you, Susie. You know we struggle. We struggle with these very unique characters that we have. And for me, how is it that my last one is the very unique character? The other 2 prepared me for this one. Definitely prepared me for this one. But they didn't prepare me enough, man. Sulie says he's going to be wonderful friend to lucky people as an adult, and we have all had lessons as adults to be good friends. Right. And he's been a good friend since day one. I got you. He's your ride or die, but he's not trying to die. You know, he'll ride, but he ain't trying to die. It's called the 4 Agreements. Okay. Is it a book? Shay, how you work with this man is, but your son had his sister though, right? He had his sister in the household, close enough in age that he didn't have to be alone. He didn't have to feel alone. And then to be in this locked up time. Hey, Darlene. See, now I'm seeing Darlene. She's coming through on Facebook. So it must be something that you guys are doing on your end that makes me not see who you are. Because now I see your name, Darlene. Right. So he has this, and you know what, Shay? That's the hard thing for Etienne is that his siblings, he misses the hell out of them. And I got invited to go to Jamaica. I had an ex-coworker call me yesterday. She's like, "Girl, let's go to Jamaica," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's coronavirus, girl." But you know, in Jamaica, they're doing this. They take your temperature. They give you a coronavirus test. You have to quarantine for 2 days until you get your test results back. I've got a 2-bedroom house that I'll have. You'll have a place to stay. Come on. Yeah. Okay, let me think about it. Look, we were supposed to go to California and Hawaii this summer. How would that be that I hop on a plane to go to Jamaica with or without the boy? And now, first of all, I can't do a girls' weekend, a girls' trip. How can I tell this boy that we are physically distancing? That we are physically distancing because of this coronavirus, but I'm about to take a trip to Jamaica. You go stay with your Mimi that you haven't seen since March because of coronavirus. But since Mommy wants to go to Jamaica, you go stay with your grandmother who you haven't seen in 4 months. Okay? So I can go to Jamaica. Since she said, well, worst case scenario, you can bring him too. All right. So let's say I bring my son and the 2 of us and we hop on a plane and we go to Jamaica. How would that be that I couldn't take the trip to go to San Francisco Bay Area to see my children and then go to Hawaii with my children the way we had planned to do it, but I can hop my ass on a plane and go to Jamaica? I can't make it make sense, y'all. As much as I would love to go to Jamaica with her, have a good time, have a ball, as much as I would love to go to Jamaica, I can't make it make sense. I can't do that to him. He would rather see his siblings than go hang out on the beach in Jamaica. And he's like, Mom, why would we go to Jamaica? If we're going to go anywhere, why are we not going to California? I want to see Christian and Chelsea. He loves those boys, that boy and that girl. He loves them, right? They don't get along when they're in the house together, but he loves them. He loves them hard. And he loves everybody so hard. You're like, dude, look, can I just get a break from the love? Just 1 minute. Mama, how many hugs have I given you today? Enough, son. Enough. Okay? Right, Steve? People in Jamaica are dying too. People in Jamaica are dying too. And how can I not get on a plane to go see my children? To be in the house that I lived in for 20 years. They're still there. To be in the house I lived in for 20 years. to go back home, see my loved ones. How can I not do that? But I can hop on a plane and go to another country. What if I get sick in Jamaica? See, because if I go to California and he or I get sick in California, we got support. That's home too, right? That was my home for 20 years. It's still home. So I could do that. But how can I not do that where I would have my security, safety, access to healthcare, access to everything that I need, access to support? But I'm going to go to Jamaica? I can't do it. Darlene says, I have a 4-year-old that's going to be all alone unless we adopt. We are thinking about it. Girl, I've always thought about adoption. I've always thought about it. Get his boy, first of all, give another child a home and get his boy somebody to hang out with. And hope they get along. Maybe I just need to foster for a while. I've always wanted to foster. Stacey says, that is my Uncle Jerry. It has always been said he loves hard. Yes, that's my son. I'm not going to Jamaica. I'm assuming that's Eric talking about go to Jamaica. I'm not going, man. I can't make it make sense. I'll go to Jamaica another time. Steve says, when people say things like that, it makes my teeth itch. Keep your ass safe. Listen, and I'm telling you, I promise you, as soon as I get this P100 respirator mask, I might be willing to hop on a plane and go to California with my P100 respirator mask on. I may be willing to do it. I may be willing to sit in California and go on some hikes, get out into the fresh air. It's so humid outside. That's why my landlord had a heat stroke. It's so humid outside. She was out walking her dogs, and she's like 500 years old. I might be like 80 something or 70 something. I don't know. She's old. She might be 60 something, but she looks pretty old. Sully says, me too. I would want to adopt a little Chinese baby with a black name. You're funny, but I wanted to adopt a Mexican baby and I wanted to adopt a white baby. That's what I wanted to do. All these black folks running around adopting white folks running around adopting black folks. I wanted to adopt me a little white baby. What time is it, Rose? 3 minutes. Okay. Elaine, so she's mothering. She can't see not having him around. Oh, that's Crystal. Good morning, Crystal. Are you serious, guy, on a crowded plane? Steve, it's always a thought, man, and I know you're going to keep it real for me. I know you're going to keep it real, but if I have my P100 mask on, I'm going to have... But you know, the thing about it is, honestly, you're right. It's a long flight. It's a long flight from here to there. That's 5 hours of sitting on the plane. But if I have my mask on, I think I might be okay. But, you know, we have to be even more concerned because now there's all these studies, there's all these scientists who are saying that this virus is airborne, that the droplets don't just fall to it's not that the virus is not in just the heavy droplets that fall to the ground, but it's airborne. So you have to look into all of this. You have to make these decisions. I know Steve is like, no, stay locked up in the house. Stay locked up in the house. All right, guys. You know, on Wednesday, I can't get it all together. It's so much stuff. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday again. It seems like every Wednesday, everything comes together. And all I can think about is it's Wednesday. I've made it through Monday and Tuesday, and now it's Wednesday. Got to get on to the next. Rose, you got a face shield. I need to do the face shield and the mask. I'm telling you, I'm about to have my own little private, hazmat suit. For real. I'm about to have a hazmat suit. And when I go down, okay, I'm going to leave on this note. When I was working in San Francisco, I worked at one of my jobs. I worked for a little bit of time as a social worker for a residential hotel in the Tenderloin area of San Francisco. And if those of you who are not from San Francisco, it's a pretty seedy area. It's a lot of homelessness, a lot of drugs, a lot of street people, drugs, alcoholism, everything is not... I didn't have a weak stomach until I started working in the Tenderloin. You see any and everything in the Tenderloin. You'll see people shooting up. You'll see people shitting in the middle of the street. You'll see people doing everything. It's nasty, right? But right around it is great. But that little area, the Tenderloin area, is just nastiness. So I used to work at a residential hotel there. And there was a guy who had liver failure. Oh, I hear the dogs. I better go check on them in a minute. There was a guy who had liver failure, and he died in his room. And in order for me to go into his room, I was the social worker, so I had to go in. Nobody could go into anyone else's room without me present. So I would go into his room. I would cover myself in trash bags. I took trash bags, those 40-gallon or 50-gallon, whatever they are, the large black trash bags, and I made myself a hazmat suit over trash bags, put a mask on, and it smelled so wretched in his room that I sprayed the inside of the mask with Lysol. This is before I had breathing issues with smells, right? And I covered my mouth with the mask, sprayed it with Lysol, and then covered my face so that I'm breathing in the toxic Lysol fumes, but at least I'm not breathing in the rest of the stuff that's going to make me vomit. That's how I'm about to go downstairs. I'm about to get my trash bags. I'm about to cover up. And it's not because it stinks or anything like that, but it's just because it's coronavirus time, right? And she may have passed out because of corona, because of heat stroke, but was it the heat? Is she sick with corona? I don't know. So I'm about to hazmat up in some trash bags and my P100 mask. Y'all pray for your sister right now. Pray for me. Because I'm going to help her out. I'm going to tend to the dogs, but pray for me. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful, glorious day. We will be back here on Thursday. And Tobiah, remember, I hope you're still here, Tobiah. Remember that you're coming on Saturday to talk to us about Black Panthers and your participation in the Black Panther movement. Everybody remember that, to join us on Saturday with Tobiah. Tobiah, you remember that that's what you're supposed to be doing this weekend on Saturday. I will see you guys here tomorrow. Have a wonderful, glorious day. It's Wednesday, y'all. It's Wednesday again. It happens every 7 days. Yeah, then I'll have a heat stroke, you're right. So maybe I should turn the air up. I'm not taking a picture, Pam. Be in my hazmat suit selfie. You guys have a great day. Stay safe. Steve, we all physically distancing, man. We're working it out. So I will see you guys here tomorrow. Have a great day. Rose, I'm going to talk to you later, I'm sure. Darlene, I'm talking to you later, I'm sure. The men are not right. Man, y'all are reaching. Forever reaching. Anyway, have a great day, and I will see you here tomorrow. Same time, same place, with your cup of tea.